I could thank everyone for coming today to this very important Tamil Genocide Memorial unveiling. I know we have those who came from far and wide. And I look at this beautiful memorial, this beautiful monument, and it wasn't supposed to happen. This was not supposed to happen. You know, we had puppets for a foreign government that appealed our city decision to have a monument. They took me to the Integrity Commissioner. When we had the first groundbreaking here at the Tamil Genocide Monument, we had a protest. We had a protest of genocide deniers. And despite this foreign interference, despite those protests, it didn't work. In Canada, in Brampton, we do not forget our history, and we do not forget the extent of the Tamil genocide. And as I said to that protest, when the first shovels were put into the ground, the genocide deniers, you're not welcome in Brampton, you're not welcome in Canada, go back to Colombo. You know, my staff asked me if I wanted some speaking notes for today. And normally they give me speaking notes. I said, not today. This is very personal. And I wanted to speak from the heart. In 2009, at the time I was MP in Barrie, and there was 2 Tamil families in the city. 2. Not 2,000, not 12,000, 2. And one of the families was the Suresh Kumar family, Ranji and Aaron. And they came into my office, and Ranji broke into tears. And she said her family was being butchered, that the genocide was killing innocent civilians. And in her tears, I saw truth. This was not someone trying to spin me. This was someone who was speaking her lived reality. And she said there was going to be a protest in Ottawa. And she said, would you join that protest in front of the House of Commons? And I felt her passion, and it was contagious. And so I went to that protest in front of the House of Commons in 2009, and I realized the pain, the sorrow, the anguish that Ranji was feeling. There was tens of thousands of Canadians feeling the same way. You know, hundreds of thousands of civilians were murdered by the Sri Lankan state in the Tamil genocide. And the state engaged in a campaign of misinformation. They tried to disparage and attack Tamils who were speaking up for the truth, for justice. So not only was it a physical genocide, it was an attack on Tamils everywhere. Even Tamils that tried to flee for their life were being disparaged and attacked. And instead of being treated and celebrated for having the courage to stand up for loved ones, they were attacked brutally by a misinformation campaign. And then it wasn't just 2009. The fact that we still see lawsuits and protests shows that that misinformation campaign continues today. But I think it's also a time to celebrate the resilience of the community. Who would have thought in 2009, when the community felt alone, that here we are today with a monument remembering the genocide, despite the objections of the war criminals in Sri Lanka. Here we are today in Canada and at the United Nations with a nonpartisan consensus that the Tamil genocide is a dark chapter in humanity. Here we are today where you look and the Minister of Justice in Canada is a Tamil Canadian. That you have city councillors, MPPs. And I look to my friends Logan and BJ. Imagine their family. You know, BJ from the heroes in VVT. You came from VVT, your family. Logan in Danny. To think that they'd be in the Parliament passing a Tamil Genocide Education Act. That takes courage. So, VJ, they say courage comes from VVT. Well, you showed that courage in the legislature. Logan, you showed that courage running for election and being part of that incredible chapter. And so when I look at this monument, there's part of me that is so proud that we have this monument in our city. I want to thank the councillors who are here who unanimously supported this despite those misinformation letters and lawsuits. Grateful for their unwavering support. I'm proud that we persisted. At the same time, it's a reminder also that there's more work to do. When you realize the fact that we remember hundreds of thousands of civilians butchered, and there hasn't been justice. And after the Second World War, we saw the Holocaust, we had the Nuremberg trials, where war criminals were held accountable. And here we are today, and there's war criminals still living in luxury, being protected by the state. I want to see monuments like this remembering history, calling out the acts and atrocities of these war criminals around the world. We cannot forget. We will not forget. And so what I wanted to say today is that in the city of Brampton, and I know the sentiment is the same at Queen's Park and in the House of Commons, that we stand with the community. We stand with your lived experience. And we will always do whatever we can to advocate, to fight for justice, for your truth, not to be swept under the carpet, but to be remembered, to honored. It's why in the city of Brampton, we were the first city to raise the Tamil Elam national flag. Because we are with you, shoulder to shoulder. We will not be intimidated. We will not be bullied. And we will continue to roar as loud as we can for your justice. Thank you for being here today. Nandri.
Thank you. Thank you once again to His Worship Patrick Brown, the Mayor of Brampton, on behalf of the Tamil Canadian community and the Tamil people worldwide. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you not only for the construction of the Tamil Genocide Monument at Chinguacousy Park in Brampton, but thank you for allowing us to inaugurate today. In May 2025, this day will be marked in history. Thank you.